Man, ESPN tried to pull a fast one. Where was Stephen A. Smith on ESPN First Take this morning when they was talking about Angel Reese? Shout out to David Dennis Jr. for standing up for Angel Reese and giving Angel Reese her flowers. But we're going to unpack all that here next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, shout out to David Dennis Jr. for giving Angel Reese her flowers on a segment of ESPN First Take earlier today. ESPN, I see what you tried to do. You tried to hide this clip, but this clip was sent to me by one of my faithful listeners and subscribers, Nate. So appreciate you, Nate, for sending me this clip so we can talk about it. ESPN, I see what you tried to do. Where was Stephen A. Smith this morning when they was talking about Angel Reese after her pure dominance in masterclass that she performed on the LA Sparks when she posted 24, 16, and 7, 2 blocks, 1 steal. And today on ESPN First Take, David Dennis Jr. stood up for Angel Reese and called out all these YouTube content creators for all the fake narratives and the fake quotes that they're using surrounding around Angel Reese. Now, guys, if y'all don't know who David Dennis Jr. is, David Dennis Jr., he's a senior writer. David Dennis Jr. is a senior writer at Anscape and the author of an award-winning book, The Movement Made Us, A Father and Son, and the Legacy of Freedom Ride. David is a graduate of Davidson College. Now, David Dennis Jr. makes a appearance every day on Around the Horn, giving his takes, talking sports, very knowledgeable, very fair, gives a great take, on his perspective about women's basketball, men's basketball, and everything that has to deal with sports. So today on ESPN First Take, David Dennis Jr. was able to talk about Angel Reese for a segment. And where was Stephen A. Smith? Where was the mainstream media when it comes to Angel Reese doing something significant in the WNBA? Where is the praise that they show Caitlin Clark? Where is all that at? It took David Dennis Jr. to come on ESPN First Take and give a great breakdown on what Angel Reese is doing in her second campaign in the WNBA. So, guys, let's take a listen to what David Dennis Jr. had to say. And when he wraps it up, we'll come back and we'll finish with my commentary. Let's take a listen.
A quick take with David Dennis Jr.
Talk about Angel Reese here. As the old adage goes, the apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect. Did Angel Reese struggle a little bit early in the year with field goal percentage? Yes. Is her team still trying to figure things out? Yes. But look at what Angel Reese has done over the last few weeks of his career. The last 4 games, 15 rebounds a game. And I don't want to hear you talk about the me-bounds and all that stuff. Take away the rebounds off her own miss, she'd still be leading the league. Take around offensive rebounds, she'd still be leading the league. Angel Reese is putting together a turnaround and a great season. And on top of that, She's doing it in the face of, I don't know if you guys are seeing on social media or go to Facebook, you see more fake quotes about Angel Reese and more of these stupid highlights of her missing shots and a bunch of dweebs online who want to bully Angel Reese and talk about how she's playing. Look at the stats and look at the numbers that she's doing. Angel Reese is putting together a great season, a great sophomore year in the WNBA, and it's only going to get better.
You heard what David Dennis Jr. had to say. And I'm glad that David Dennis Jr. stood up for Angel Reese, man, and he backed her up and he gave her flowers. Now, David Dennis Jr. is taking a shot at all these YouTube content creators that make this content surrounding around Angel Reese, missing layups, me bounds, and things like that, getting her own offensive rebounds and things like that. Now, you go back to last year in her rookie campaign, it was so many videos floating around because they were so in their feelings because Angel Reese as a rookie was leading the WNBA in rebounds. And only thing they could do was make videos of her getting rebounds off of missed shots. Last time I checked, that's part of basketball, getting rebounds. I don't care if you get your own rebound. That is part of basketball. Back in the days in the NBA, nobody never fought at Moses Malone for getting offensive rebounds. Nobody never fought at Charles Barkley for getting offensive rebounds. Now Angel Reese as a female is going out there just completely dominating the glass, completely dominating the boards, and everybody has a problem with it. And you know what the narrative was. She gets her own rebounds. But what David Dennis Jr. did was he explained to y'all, you take away the offensive rebounds, whatever they call quote unquote me bounds, which now she has trademarked and she's making money off of that. You take away the me bounds, she still leads the WNBA in rebounds. That's how impactful Angel Reese is on the glass. She don't have to get offensive rebounds. Her offensive rebounds this year are down. He said, you take away that, she's still leading the WNBA in rebounding. And then he took a shot at all these clowns that are online with all these fake quotes, all these fake narratives that are surrounding around Angel Reese. And he just let it be known that she's having a great sophomore campaign. And he even pointed out the fact that the same thing Angel Reese said in her post-game press conference after they beat the Los Angeles Sparks. She started off the season slow, but she has picked it up 4 straight games with 15 rebounds in a game, 15 or more. Nobody in WNBA history has ever done that besides Angel Reese. And this is only her second year in the WNBA. So I'm glad that David Dennis Jr. was on ESPN First Take this morning, mainstream media, giving Angel Reese her flowers, because a lot of people won't give Angel Reese her flowers on mainstream media. And David Dennis Jr., he did that. Now, you know, ESPN First Take got a huge following, a huge backing. So that little segment, it's going to be out there. But see, ESPN, they try to hide it because it wasn't a topic of discussion. It was a quick take. And David Dennis Jr. was on there to give that quick take. And he broke it down so eloquently. So he's letting these YouTube content creators and all these people that are online, social media, that are trying to bully Angel Reese and all these false quotes and all these false narratives. David Dennis Jr. just took a shot at all you clowns. And he made it a point of emphasis to let y'all know that pertaining basketball, on the way he broke it down and the highlights that he showed and the way he spoke, it's time to start giving Angel Reese her flowers. Take the hate out your heart, man. This is basketball. Give Angel Reese her kudos, man. She's making a believer out of people every day. One by one, she is silencing all the critics and all the haters. You don't see too much now about the offensive rebounds, the me bounds, and the stat pattern. You don't see that because now she's shining and people still won't give her just dues and still won't give her credit. But David Dennis Jr., he represented it for all the people like me and all the people that support Angel Reese, David Dennis Jr., I applaud you. I salute you. Kudos to you for standing up for Angel Reese. I see everybody in the comment section. Hashtag salute. Oh, yeah. Just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. Might not be for you. Might be for them. But I see y'all. I see y'all all in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on. So you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. But I see what y'all doing in the comment section. It's not going to work. I see what y'all doing, but it's not going to work. We rise above. That's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.